Hey everybody, I wanted to touch on this real quick because this is another video that I found. It's called from the Black and White Network. He posted it yesterday. Shout out to this guy right here, Black and White Network on YouTube. Show him the love, give him a like and subscribe. He touches on this topic about Sadie Perkins and her significant other. And we all know who Miss Perkins is with her vile comments about innocent babies.
Right. Yeah. But these leftist black women seem to love the white pipe. You guys notice that Kamala Harris, even though she's not black, she's trying to pass herself off as black. Married to a white man. Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is on the Supreme Court, another Democrat, married to a white man. The communist out here in Houston, Luna Hidalgo, Latina, married to a white man. Talked about Sadie Perkins, who was an appointee by the late Sylvester Turner, who was the Democrat mayor of Houston. When it came to Camp Mystic, guys, she was making a whole bunch of racist comments about white people. Now, when I made that video, I didn't even know she was actually married. Then I actually found out, oh, she actually has a fiance, and he's a minister at a church. Now, comments, man, definitely weren't very Christian. Now, folks, her boyfriend is a white man. He's a pastor at a church out here in Houston, and guess what?
Even he slammed him. Even he slammed her.
He's come out and he's made a statement to his congregation, and he has slammed Sadie Perkins. So I'm telling you guys that their relationship
ain't long for the world, I don't think.
Not too long anymore. Okay? Probably not. I mean,
especially since she keeps doubling down instead of just apologizing.
Say something that people will start walking out of church, because I believe she actually probably attends the same church. So let's get into what he actually said.
Now, before he does that, I want to say something about it, okay? To Miss Perkins specifically. I don't get what your problem with people like me are. Because a Christian who holds Christian values forgives you and hopes you learn from this.
Here we go. So, right over here, guys, on the New York Post, Reverend boyfriend of ex-Houston mayoral appointee disavows her vile Camp Mystic tirade. The Reverend boyfriend of the former Houston mayoral appointee, who went on a tirade against Camp Mystic, where 27 campers and counselors were killed in the Texas flooding, has criticized his partner's controversial comments.
Okay, I'm going to pause it for a second. I just want to get to the point where he says it. He says, my partner, Sadie Perkins, has made comments on social media regarding the horrific flooding that devastated Camp Mystic. He wrote, according to the report, I want to be clear, I disavow her comments.
I believe the death count now is well over 100 for the flood.
Yeah, 111, I
The
believe.
boyfriend's name is Colin Bozen, and this is him right here on the right, and that's Sadie Perkins right there in the middle.
In the middle there is Sadie.
But it says here, Colin Bozen, a senior minister at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, apologized to his congregation for his girlfriend, Sadie Perkins' remarks, while acknowledging that he
Okay, let me skip ahead a little bit.
I was wondering about that. Comments on social media
I want to
be clear
get to the
that
next part.
has caused. Quote,
There it is. I apologize to my congregation.
I will continue to work to repair the harm this incident
has caused. Amen.
Her comments have caused harm to many people, to many who are experiencing terrible loss and anxiety, he wrote, according to the Daily Mail. Her comments were not in the spirit of the Unitarian Universalist values centered around love that my congregation and I share. Folks, I saw a video clip of this couple.
This was the camp, I believe.
Around the floods. Door was open.
This
Perkins had a problem.
This Miss Perkins
was up near the bed. These people needed help. It was terrifying, folks. It was extremely sad. I hope those people were actually able to get out their home.
The point is that anybody who would say such horrific things about children of all things. Anyway, I want to share that because her husband did come out and disavow her comments and apologized to the victims that are going through this. As he stated, her comments has caused harm to many who are experiencing terrible loss and anxiety. Her comments were not in the spirit of the Unitarian universal values centered around love that my congregation and I share. Because that is what true Christian value is. And Miss Perkins and anyone who supports her and anyone else who makes comments like she made, like that doctor and like little cheeky girl there, shame on them. Shame on them all. May God have mercy on your damned soul, because it will be damned if you don't apologize to God for those comments, because God don't like ugly. He really don't. Not in my opinion anyway. And the fact that she is so R-word against people like this, and she's married, and she was engaged to, and is engaged to a man who happens to be, as that one girl did, who happens to look like me. So how are you the R word to every other person, but not to your husband and your children? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I thought, grew past all of this. But apparently I was wrong. Because we have people like Sadie Perkins and others that started with like the George Floyd and Carmelo Anthony and all this other stuff. I mean, the whole Carmelo Anthony thing. That's crazy to me. You know, his father has lost his mind, has been dropping private messages, threatening private messages to a reporter, Sarah Fields, just because she's reporting facts. She's doing her job. And he is making vile, disgusting comments. You see, there was an incident that happened. I don't know how old her daughter is now, but her daughter was 6 years old. Something bad happened. Something evil happened to her little daughter at 6 years old. And his comments to her was, maybe if you were a better mother or something to that degree, your child could have fought back. Her 6-year-old child? Oh, and then he realized and he tried to take it back. But I'm sorry. You don't take back something like that. You are not a man of God, Mr. Anthony. Your wife is not a woman of God, Mrs. Anthony. Because God is real fussy about that commandment being broken. And y'all know what commandment I'm talking about. Thou shalt not fill in the blank. Disgusting. Absolutely horrifying. And the worst part about it is she's pregnant. Miss Fields is currently pregnant. And they keep harassing her and making THREATS to her. Doxing her and everything else. These people need to get that trial underway. They set a date for next year in June of 2026. They need to start it now. They need to start it now. Because this is only going to cause more chaos. It's only going to cause more angry people to react like they are. I mean, Sarah Fields, for goodness gracious, they keep doing they keep doing that to her. This Mr. Activists from the Next Action whatever network that, what is his name? Oh, I forgot his name. But anyway, the guy that's always talking, the Carmelo Anthony guy that was doing the press conference and always talking for the family. That guy, the minister, you ain't no minister. You're a $5 minister plant. Anyway, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I am so tired of it. People have been calling us names since November 5th. Having the most vile comments flung at us. And yet we take it. And we take it. And we take it. You guys keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing all this hate and division. Why? Why? Stop. Because only evil people do that. Only evil people do that. So, Miss Perkins, you're evil. Cheeky lady, you're evil. Rat hair man, you're evil. The doctor, evil. Drew Anthony, evil. Next Action Network, all of that. Anyone who condones that behavior. And I cannot wait for the trial to come out. Because once that trial comes out, that video will get dropped. And once that video gets dropped, everyone will know what really happened. Because I heard a reporter talking about it, and I can tell you right now what the reporter said. She said, I was watching it. There was nothing to indicate anything. And then there was an explosion of movement. And then the next thing we know, one child leaves in cuffs and one child leaves on a stretcher. There was no altercation prior to it. So, how exactly was it self-defense? If there was no altercation, and please don't try to play that stupidity statement that they were able to, that he was boxed in by two big linebacker type size kids. No, excuse me, sorry. They were all the same size, roughly. Because in order to run track and play football, and all those sports things. First of all, this Charleston White came out with all this crazy comments about, and we all obviously see how he feels about people like me, because he has these sick, twisted fantasies, apparently, of watching the white man, as he put it. I can't repeat the rest. He actually made the statement that Carmelo Anthony should have with Hunter too. What is wrong with people like that? He ain't a good kid. He was flashing gang signs, holding... Come on. What was the picture of Austin? Oh, him standing with his brother and father in hunting gear after hunting. A family activity that with boys and their fathers. Everybody who knew Austin, nobody has come out and said anything negative about this kid, except the other side. And let me tell you another thing. Then he goes on and puts up a debunked autopsy saying that it was fentanyl that caused it. That's not true. First of all, if a 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old kid is doing that, they're not playing sports. They're not running track. They're not playing football. Use your head. That's a fake story that somebody put up to make Austin Metcalf look like a criminal instead of the victim. And it's been going on since the incident happened. And I will say this and only this. If the roles were reversed, boy, oh boy. Y'all would be calling. Y'all would be calling. And yet you still continue to act like this. I can't wait for June. I've never in my life been so excited for a court case to happen. I really haven't. And I'll tell you why. Hold on, I'm trying to get my resin thing to stand up. There we go. And I'll tell you why. Because this needs to stop. All this division and hatred towards each other over a color. It needs to stop. And I will tell you one thing. I have never, ever, ever had so many insults and stuff come at my way in my entire 52 years than I have since November 5th. People who act like that are vile, disgusting people who shouldn't even be called human beings because they're less than that in my eyes when they act like that. This was a 17-year-old boy whose life was stolen. If the roles were reversed, you all would be calling and marching in the streets and everything else until he was behind bars. You know you would. Hello? The whole incident with George Floyd, the whole incident. There's been many instances where this has happened, where things like that happen, where people go crazy. Done with it. Stop. Stop. Carmelo Anthony, if he is found guilty, needs to pay for the crime that he committed. Otherwise, what are you teaching him exactly? That whenever somebody says something he doesn't like, that's how he should react? What kind of parents want that for their child? Because I know that if it was my son, I'd be doing everything to make sure that he learned that this is not the way we react. I'd be getting him help for his anger issues. People are saying, oh, Austin was a bully. Austin was this. Austin was that. Meanwhile, Carmelo's the one who got suspended for bringing the same item to school. And then he says that was too small, that couldn't have happened like that. Please. I have sons who were in the Boy Scouts, and I can tell you right now, I know what tool he's talking about. And first of all, you cannot, kneeling down, reach one-handed into a bag, turning while not looking, and quickly open that. Can't be done. Which means it had to be already opened and ready to be used. Premeditated right there. Second thing is, he was where he was not supposed to be. The reason why he was not permitted in that tent was no other schools are allowed in each other's tents unless they're specifically invited by that team. Everybody who's ever had anybody who plays sports know this, because they have their personal items there. They have laptops, phones, things like that. They don't want the stuff go missing. So no, people are told to stay in their own tents. And yet, he wasn't even supposed to be there that day. He was supposed to be at school. But no, Mr. Rule Breaker went to a track meet where he was not invited, not supposed to be at, and went to a tent, not invited, not supposed to be at, and Austin didn't get to go home. Austin's mom never got to say goodbye to her son. Austin's father never got to say goodbye. The worst, more tragic part of this, his identical twin brother, Hunter, had to hold him in his arms until the life left his brother. So yeah, stop treating them like they're the criminals and the Anthonys like they're the victims, because the roles are reversed. The Metcalfs are the victims here. Austin is the victim here, not Carmelo Anthony and his thug of a father who happens to be harassing a pregnant mom and saying vile, disgusting things to her. You are no man of God. The fact that you even said that about her daughter proves that. Shame on you. Shame on you. Absolutely horrific behavior from people as of late. Like, has everybody lost their damn minds? Because I have never in my life seen so many people be so hateful and so disgusting and vile over the stupidest, nonsensical crap, as in race and or religion or anything. You guys need to stop. Seriously. Anyway, that's it for today. At least for now. I just wanted to say that because I think everybody needs to realize that this is not the way people behave. That this is not the way people, God-fearing people, should behave. People like Carmelo Anthony, Drew Anthony, his mama, the Next Action Network, Sadie Perkins, Dimple Cheeks there, Rat Hair Man, I don't know their names, so that's why I'm using the terms that I used on my previous video about this. So check that out. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and like and subscribe the video that I just showed you guys. It's called the Black and White Network on YouTube. Check them out and show them the love. And don't forget, like and subscribe here as well. Thanks, guys. Peace.